about Love Tangle, but I promise Ninja Shadow is right after this. But here we go. What answer will you give me, Morgan? Timo still has his hand on my cheek as he gazes into my eyes. I have to make a decision, don't I? And I suppose Timo's aware of that. I respond, I need my others, but I forgot where I put that one. Do you really want to know? I have to think about it. I think I'll go with this one. I stare back at Timo. Do you really want to know? His breath catches and he gives me an inquisitive look. Then, after a short pause, he lets out a sigh and responds. I just don't wish to see any discord between my coworkers. Well, I'm sorry for causing you any trouble. I respond wearily. I like Paul a lot, but I'm not sure we really share the same passions. I pause and smile up at Timo. Right now, I'm doing everything I can to follow my dreams. Which are... like you and I talked about earlier. Remember we share the same goals? Oh, All I can think about right now are the animals. I want to save as many as I possibly can. Being engaged to Paul is the last thing I want on my mind. I see. Timo pauses before answering. Speaking of animals, I'd like to discuss the leopard's rehabilitation. Let's head back to the lab. Sure thing, Timo. I find myself grateful for Timo's casual change of subject and suspect he did it out of consideration for me. Oh, sweetie. Following work, Timo and I return home to Lilac Court together. Earlier, while going over the leopard's rehabilitation, we had arranged to meet in his room later to discuss a new article. Talking about work with Timo is much more enjoyable than thinking about my answer to Paul. I bet Julia would be disgusted if she heard me say that. My feelings toward Paul's offer of marriage might be quite different if I had her level of enthusiasm for romance. However, there's no sense in worrying about that. Rose, were you planning on coming to my room immediately? I start to nod back before spotting Naoki in the distance, headed towards us. Oh shit, I forgot the name of this MC. Hey Cecily. Timo. Naoki calls out to get our attention. Perfect timing. I brought back souvenirs from Kyo City and wanted to give you yours. He holds out a simple yet elegant looking bottle that exhibits attractive and mysterious qualities. Blah. Oh, so I had to pick the other one. Shit. Darn it. Is this a porcelain? Yes, inside is a wood. It is sweet rice wine, although fermented. I can't say words. It's still pretty sweet and has very little alcohol. Sweet rice wine? I've heard of it before, but I've never had a chance to taste it. Thanks, Naoki. It's considered quite healthy, which, considering how busy you two are with work, might do you some good. Naoki hands Timo and I each a bottle. Thank you. Naoki's work as a calligrapher is nothing like what Timo and I do, but doesn't stop him from showing an interest, which I appreciate. Say, Timo, why don't we try this white rice wine? Well, we read over that new article together. That sounds good. Don't work too hard. The two of us smile back at Naoki, grateful for the sentiment. Aww. Timo, we should probably check on this one too. Problems related to skeletal structure of the Pathrian cats. Timo and I are pursuing research articles on our tablets. Each time we find one of interest, we stop and discuss it with one another. To me, the activity is incredibly enjoyable. I love satisfying my thirst for knowledge. And I never would have guessed spending time with someone who feels similarly could be so much fun. As we read, we are both slowly sipping the wine Naoki gave us. Building up our knowledge like this should also help Timo and I establish a path to our goals. Timo? When Timo, who's sitting behind me, doesn't answer, I call out his name again. Instead of receiving a reply... Oh. Oh, this is sweet. I feel his hand on my shoulder. The sudden assertiveness on his part causes my heart to leap. It has to be Timo's hand, right? We're the only people in the room. Unwilling to turn around to look, I try calling out to him again. Timo, did you want something? My heart begins to race uncontrollably at the warmth of his touch. He's never put his hand on me this brazenly before. Blushing, I hesitate to turn to look. Sure enough, Timo is right behind me. He's going to give me a heart attack. Whoa! Something warm and soft touches my lips. I immediately feel his delicate skin directly against mine. Cute dog. Timo's lips and my lips are pressing together. Is this really happening? Ooh. My mind grinds to a halt. I even forget to blink for a moment as I stare in surprise. Dear. A little forward much? All I can see is Timo's handsome face, and his eyes are closed. We're kissing. His large hand suddenly drops over my eyes, forcing me to close them. The moment I do, however, his lips part from mine. You're not going to stop me? I flinch when he whispers in my ear. I didn't stop him, did I? He surprised me with a kiss, and yet a thought never crossed my mind that I didn't want it. I unconsciously reach up and run my finger over my lips. I can still feel his warmth. Do you like me? He quietly asks, and once again I look up at him in surprise. His normally emotionless gaze uneasily dances about as he waits earnestly for my answer. Timo, I pause mid-sentence with my lips parted, and Timo leans towards me again. He takes hold of my head between his fingertips, gently tilts my head back, and then kisses me again. Once again, I can feel his warmth. How should I react? The sensation of Timo's kiss spreads through me, stirring up not shame or embarrassment, but passion in its wake. My fingers grow tense for a moment, hesitate, and then relax again. I can't push him away. No, I don't want to push him away. Instead, I close my eyes and lose myself in the sensation of his lips. There's no man who fascinates me more than Timo. Maybe it's not our professional conversation about research that I enjoy so much. simply being in Timo's presence? This could be love blossoming within me, and a sensation to which I am unaccustomed. Timo's body shifts a little, and before I know it, we're pressed up against one another. Startled, my mouth falls open. Timo, wait! He's moving way too fast for me. I start to push him away by his shoulders, then notice something about his demeanor seems strange. Is he asleep? Oh my gosh. Next thing I realize, I'm catching him in my arms. Oh, he's heavy. He's gone completely limp. I notice a red tinge to his normal pale cheeks. Come to think of it, I only drank a cup or two. Why am I getting raspy? I'm reading, for fuck's sake. My voice acting, and I'm already getting raspy. Damn. I only drank a cup or two of that rice wine. I cannot say rice wine. Why? But Timo's bottle is completely empty. Oh, he's weak to alcohol. Whoops. Although Naoki told us it didn't have much alcohol, it's possible Timo doesn't have much tolerance. Good grief. With a little effort, I managed to lay him down on the sofa. Getting into his bed is out of the question. What was Timo thinking? I fetched a blanket from his bedroom to cover him with. Oh, kitty! Kitty! So adorable. Wait, hold on. The kitten who had hidden himself away while Timo and I were reading suddenly shows up at my feet. He rubs himself against me looking for attention, and I scoop him up and place him in my lap. Did you see that? Timo fell asleep on me. I bet you can still hear my heart racing, can't you? Place my hand over my heart as I grumble to the kitten. Can you believe what he did? The kitten sympathetically cries out, and I grimace back at him. My shoulders are cold. I slowly open my eyes as I begin to shiver. Don't tell me I fell asleep. The unfamiliar color of the bed sheets only adds to my bewilderment. On top of that, lying beside me is... Timo? I nearly yell out his name in surprise. What am I doing sleeping beside him? Let's see, last night he ended up getting drunk and... he kissed me, didn't he? Then fell asleep. After that, I spent a while petting the kitten, and then I try as hard as I can to remember what happened at the end of the night, but to my dismay, the void remains empty. Are you awake? Uh-oh, did I wake him up? I nearly leaped out of bed in surprise as Timo slowly sits up while holding his head. Timo, You're going to remind me that the wine Hizumi gave us last night had alcohol in it, aren't you? Oh, yes. It did have a little. Guess I drank too much. Seems my tolerance is even lower than I expected. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and finding you asleep with the kitten. Although I was still pretty drunk at the time, I managed to carry you in here and lay you on the bed. Other than that, I have no idea what happened. I don't even know how I ended up laying next to you. Don't tell me you can't remember anything. Uh-huh. Well, what you just said is starting to remind me. You fell asleep, and I sat down on the sofa, started petting the kitten. I must have dozed off then. I let out a faint sigh, then quietly continue. I also remember what happened just before that. Yeah, you gonna remind him that he kissed you? Oh, drunk MC! Timo suddenly gives me a surprised look. Don't tell me I kissed you. He asks in a low voice. I quietly nod back. My heart begins to pound violently. Every fiber of my being awaits patiently for Timo's next words. Please, Timo, explain to me what that kiss meant to you. I notice his pale cheeks faintly turning red as he appears to grow embarrassed. If by chance my anticipation of what I'm about to hear grows with each word he speaks until he is abruptly interrupted by the sound of his phone ringing. Startled, he immediately reaches for it. Hello? Salmon speaking. It sounds like he's talking to a coworker from the lab. I glance at the clock and realize the morning conference would have just ended. Understood. Following a short conversation, he hangs up again. There's not any trouble, is there? No. Seems I have a visitor at the lab. Sorry, but I'll have to get going. It quickly becomes apparent Timo won't be finishing his explanation. He climbs out of bed. You have a visitor? Uh-huh. You should come too. It's someone from the N Research Institute. I want to hear about our leopard. N Research Institute? I stare at him in surprise. Among international animal research faculties, N Research Institute ranks right at the top, right alongside the World Animal Guardianship Group, where Tim and I both dream of working. Good morning, Leopard Man. When Timo and I arrive at work, we head straight for the leopard feeding area, where we are met by the same handsome young man I've seen on previous occasions. Huh? Who's there next to him? The person standing behind the young man looks vaguely familiar. In fact, although I've never met him, Timo's expression registers surprise. Aren't you, Professor? I'm stunned as Timo greets one of the most highly regarded animal researchers in the world. Dear. Oh, we have the challenge. Train weight challenge. Yes, we're past it. And that's next week. So I cannot believe that I was immediately going to go to Ninja Shadow and totally forgot about Love Tangle. But with Love Tangle out of the way, we're going straight into Ninja Shadow. So here we go. See you in the next video, Shabba fans. Bye. And end the stream. Or end this video, whatever. Bye.